Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, classic as non-classic. This episode 2517 and Doubleshot number 2511. Yeah, both of these feature street heroes, and both whom this one was written by Danny O'Neill in the past. This one definitely is written by Danny O'Neill. We have the finale for Chip Zdarsky's run for Daredevil. We have Daredevil Electra, the Red Fist Saga, Part 3. This collects from Daredevil. I believe this is volume 7, issues 11 to 14. Now, here's the thing comes to the issues that Marvel kept putting this list like, 12 is the last issue. Nope, 13 is the last issue. No, 14 definitely is the last issue. Like, they kept saying, this issue, this issue, this issue. Now, I don't blame Zdarsky for like this run. That's not his problem. It's Marvel, the way they market this. So, this is technically the end of an era for Daredevil. Now, I'll talk more about basically my final thoughts on this era. So, mostly put, the Red Fist is not here. They have been, most have been disbanded. So, basically, events of issue 10, and Foggy being dead along with Stick. So, first you have Detective North, where he just retires from the police force. And then finds Matt Murdock in his apartment. Yep. And he gets out, and then basically, like, he goes to this business place. Yep, he's here in Daredevil costume. And it's like, okay, I want you to free it. Like, it was destroyed. Yeah, and of course, to take him down, he basically gouged out his own freaking eyes. And then basically, he agrees to release Electra. So, yeah, they arrange Electra to be released. And then basically, it's like, are you going to grab my eyes? Nope, we're going to basically grab your neck. And then, like, free everybody else. Wipe it gets clean. And then he decided to shove one of his own eyeballs into this guy's head. Like, what? Yeah, and then, of course, then we have, this is really, it's like basically a multiple story thing we have. And they have Daredevil just at this church, and then we see, like, an early version of Daredevil suit, where he teams up with the new Iron Fist for a story called Painful Lesson. And they take on these little demons. It's a really good team-up story, and just a quick backup, and then basically, the very next issue, we see a guy who looks a lot like, believe it or not, the guy who played the dude from the Days movie. I'm trying to think what was his name. It was Jeff Bridges. Yeah, Jeff Bridges. Yeah, younger version like this guy's based on him. Like, I saw, like, wait, is this Jeff Bridges? Nope, not really. It's not him. And we see Daredevil meets up with Blind Spot. Yes, Blind Spot. You know, the character from Charles Schulz's run. Yep. So he's out here. He's got a beard now. It's like, Zdarsky, it's like, if you think about it, these last few issues are just bonus stories. Because his run was over issue 10. Like, the story's done. So, yeah, that means with Electra again. We have this little flashback stuff. And then we see Electra's what happened to his eyes. Like, you see clearly so his eyes are gone. And then we see, like, a flashback of him basically, like, gets, like, a white devil outfit. And fights, like, the Beast. Yeah, because they killed the Beast towards the end of Charles Soule's run. Yep. Yeah, and of course fight the Beast again. And then apparently we see that Daredevil's in hell. And somehow Foggy Nelson gets revived. Yes, a lot of various other characters get killed off in the book. And then the final issue, it's like this issue is kind of like, yeah, let's have basically wave goodbye to this run and set up the very next run. Because that's literally what this book is. It's like, you have it where North and Foggy Nelson, who's revived, and we see a character who looks a lot like Jim Gordon. Yeah, this guy looks a lot like Jim Gordon. I think it's supposed to be Matt Murdock, but it looks like Jim Gordon. So, basically Foggy and former detective North started their own legal services. And like, oh, is it Daredevil around? No, it's Electra, still being Daredevil. And like, where's Matt Murdock? The whole issue. And then you have Electra paying a visit to Butch's house. Who was Butch, you might ask? He is Kingpin's illegitimate son. And he's also making, because he's Fisk's illegitimate son, that means Richard Fisk is his half brother. Yep. And then we see, looks like to be Matt Murdock. Well, he's some right here. He's talking to Reed Richards. Yes, Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four. And they're playing chess. And Electra has really wild hair. And then we see a scene that is clearly set up for the next one. That's all this issue. That's all the scene is. It's just a backdoor pilot to the next run by Solid Development, where Electra goes to a church and she runs into Matt Murdock, who is a priest now. Like maybe somebody know, he suffered from memory loss, and well, that's it. That's literally this book in a nutshell. Basically, read this book feels like bonus stories. It's like these issues did not really need to exist at all. It's like the story that Zdarsky was going to tell with this run wrapped up with issue 10. These issues felt like an extension of his run. For no reason. These issues are not bad. We give book a 9 out of 10. Final thoughts on this whole run as a whole. And this is done. Zdarsky is done with the book. I think Zdarsky is now clearly focused on just doing Batman now, not doing both Batman and Daredevil. Was this run bad? No, it was not. A friend of mine basically decided to drop the previous volume after a line that was said to Matt Murdock when he was in prison. He says, "Enact your white privilege." Yes. Once my friend read that, he dropped the book. That one line was the reason why he dropped the book. That one line. Yes, that's the thing with him. He basically, if he doesn't like the line someone says, he'll drop the book just automatically. Just because basically it's like what someone says. Yeah, this book, it's like, okay, so maybe Zdarsky regrets some things he did for his run, but he... My guess is this could have been a mini-series that could have, just been just wrapped loose ends, because the run was officially done. Like, if you read issue 10, the run's done. Completely done. This is just an extension for a few issues. A lot of people were not, from what I could tell, the reception toward his return to the book for the next volume was very mixed at best. Now, there's some people who didn't like his run on Daredevil. I thought it was okay. My biggest issue with the run was a lack of Foggy Nelson. Matt's best friend, and the fact he just most of the run didn't wear his costume because the events of the first issue of the book. Yeah, it's like whatever Shoal did, like just throw it that way. We have Blind Spot up here one last time. Great to see him again, but yeah, and of course Foggy's back from the dead. I think I killed him in issue 9. Excuse me. My guess is Zdarsky, he must have regretted killing him off, so just bring him back for the run is over with. Like, okay, so I have time. My guess is he must have been told, hey, you only have 10 minutes to tell your story. Okay. And my guess is the book was either not selling too well or was selling pretty good. So basically, Marvel greenlit a few more issues for him to finish telling a story. He requested this stuff. I'm just spitballing here. So, yeah, that's all this book is, just to wrap up the run. It's not terrible. It's interesting. It's not one of Zdarsky's best books. But I'm only giving it 9 because basically it's the end of an era. All right, next up we have is The Question, Volume 2, Poisoning Ground. This collects issues 7 through 12 of The Question ongoing series from the 80s, written by Danny O'Neill, artwork by Dennis Cohen. Yep. Now, if you're curious, is Lady Shiva these issues? No. It's mostly put just The Question to deal with the various conspiracy stuff. It's a very mature book, by the way. There's no, crazy like it was in the opening issues of this book, where You have a guy trying to rape a woman and call the guy a perv. Mostly reporter stuff, and then of course basically just a lot of like mature storytelling here. Some detective work. You have the question not wearing a trench coat anymore, just wearing this blue suit, and getting caught and still being a bit sloppy. Yeah, and then of course, like he just fights various thugs throughout this book. It's nothing really. You could say nothing really big happens in this book. It's like the only big stuff happens in the annuals. Kind of in a way. We have questions do all this normal stuff. Beats up bad guys. Still fixates to a reporter. And in issue 10 he goes to Priska. Yeah. I think this was Dana Priska's debut appearance in this book. I think this was the Island's first appearance. Let me check it out here. Let me check this. I think this may have been the first time. Yep, Santa Prisca. Yep. This issue here is the debut of Santa Prisca. You know, the home of Bane. Yep, so Daniel at least had a role in playing the creation of created the island. Yeah, this issue is basically you have just Vic paying a visit to the place for this one issue. Now, you might be curious, does Santa Prisca only appear in this one issue alone? Appears in the following issue and appears also in number 2. So like he's here just for a couple quick issues, and then he's back to Hub City. Mm-hmm. Yeah, then we have Vic falling in love with his red hair woman, who he also sleeps with. It's still pretty interesting what it is, but you gotta appreciate its historical significance of issues 10 and 11. The debut of Santa Prisca, the Hall of Bane. So I'm gonna give this book roughly an 8.5 out of 10, but I would give it a little bit higher because it's basically the debut of something really important about mythos, Santa Prisca. But it just Vic doing his normal stuff. And sadly put, we only have 2 more trades that to go for this book, and then we're pretty much done with this volume for a question. But there's still a few more things to question left, but I'll get in the future. Okay, so that's going to be pretty much it for particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn notifications, and do not hit that dislike button. So next video will be Moonlight Fantasy. Okay, next video. Bye.